Phillips. I'm 17 years old. I am going into my senior year at Las Vegas Academy of the Arts, and I will be playing a poem by Charles Griffes for you. Should I just start playing?
Yes.
So thank you very much, Sarah. I will start with that because you already you played a page of the piece. That's beautiful. I really like your sensibility. Bravo. You care about the phrase and the color. Can you tell us a little bit about what you know about Griffiths, about that piece? Do you know anything about it?
Looked into it, and I know that he was an American composer. He died very young, and that it was like loose. It reminds people of Play to an Afternoon of a Faun, and so it has that kind of feel in the beginning of just the vastness, I guess. So, does that answer?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you. Yes, well, he's American, and he has been studying in Berlin. Unfortunately, he died very young, 35 years old, very young.
Yeah.
And he studied a little bit, he was studying piano at the beginning, and then he studied a little bit of composing at Berlin as well. And with, I don't know if you have never heard about Humperdinck. It's a composer who wrote a very famous opera, Ansel und Gretel. And anyway, so is of course he couldn't, as he died very young, he couldn't develop his style very much, but he was very, very influenced by the French Impressionists and Celtic music as well, Celt music. So do you know about? I guess you know what it is, the French Impressionist time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, that music will, for a certain person, will seems a little bit like some Ravel or some Debussy kind. It's not Ravel, but a little bit of the same kind of color. So
Yeah.
color is important, and Celt music as well. I think if you look, I haven't played till there, but if you go to like H, then that's a pure Celt
Yeah.
team. That's, we don't know much about him. I don't think he has a very funny, super funny life because he had problem with his you know, in that he was a homosexual, and in that time, being homosexual was very terrible. So his sister destroyed a lot of his work when he died because of that, you know. But anyway, we're not here for that. Now we're here for your play. Okay, so I like what you've done. As I said, you're very, very the light of in the music is beautiful. So we'll try now to get a little bit, the phrase a little bit longer because it's beautiful, but it's a little bit fragmented. The French loves to play around a note. If you think of Debussy, for example, Syrinx, it's all about B flat, you know? It's
Yeah.
so at the beginning, we are around one note, which is quite easy to find. We're around the G sharp. So his theme start on the first beat, but at the end, for sure, the first page for the flute music in the first page, his phrase always goes to the second beat. That's often the case. He goes in the second beat, and we're starting on the C at the beginning. But if you can see, the first C for me is like anacruza. It's like half beat to the G, which is the important note here. Like So it's presenting the first G, and then again the one, and then again and again. So we have to find out how we can do all those G notes, because we can play all the same way. So I think the first one is important for sure, because we're going there. And then offbeat to the other one, so it's a lot of beat, you understand that? So I don't want to show you how I want to do it, but try to show me how you can change that G color. And you know the piano part or the orchestra part?
Yes.
Okay, so it has some help with that. You can, with the harmonics, you can build a little bit, but try to do now. I just want you to do exactly the same thing, the two first bars, and try to develop that G with your music. Don't play every G is the same one.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, thank you. So for you, it's piano. You will still have to take that little piano, but they are microdynamic in the piano. So we'll try to develop that little piano. For you, which one do you think that it's the most expressivo?
I would say the last one in the second measure.
I couldn't hear you.
The second measure.
The last one, the last G. Yes, it's good, because it goes to somewhere. It has to go somewhere. Okay, we start from there. We start from the last one. So try just that and be sure that that's the one you want to be the most expressive. Yeah, sorry, it cuts non-stop. I can't hear it, sorry. Your sound is like reducing, so I can't hear it. Well, it's even worse. I don't know if it's for everybody the same, but I can't hear you. It's super little.
It is the same for
okay.
us.
Don't play that piano.
Is that any better?
A little bit, maybe just try moving closer to the camera too.
Sorry about that. Okay. Now, the order of beat. We have the B-A. And the F here, it's like a appoggiatura. So it's where the tension is. So it's important to go to the last G, but the F is the more, that's the appoggiatura. You know what is appoggiatura?
I know what you're trying to say, but I don't know the actual definition.
So it's the tension, and then the note is released. The G is released, but the tension. Often appoggiatura are the seventh or the second, but now we are just, this is not the case now, but we are just the note before, and that's where you've got the tension of the music, not big tension, but a little tension. So make sure that you put your expression more on that appoggiatura. Exactly. Tari. Yeah. The first one, not too much. It's not. It's offbeat normal.
Okay.
That was very good, but maybe you're a very good student. I would do a little bit less because it's the beginning of the piece, but very good.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, can you start from the beginning and make sure that you go towards that G. That's the last one. Don't break too much before. Keep going. Okay, very good. Have you noticed something there? There's like a scale, but what happened in the second beat on the third bar? Just on the second beat.
It descends.
Yes. What happened in the second beat? Which note do you have in the second beat?
I have an E.
And the first beat?
It's also an E.
Okay, so the second one is more important.
Yeah.
It's into there. So you've got, and you've got still the appoggiatura as well. So that's why it's like you have to go there as well. So you got, and then you give up. Very simple, very like a wave. You have a little wave. It's still piano, but still a wave, and then the wave goes away. Is that the thing I'm telling you? Is that makes sense, or you're a little bit like,
oh, I got it. I understand.
Okay, very quick. Can we don't overdo it, but just feel it? Just can we start from the F double sharp, and then of course the first one is E, ta E, and then C D E, and then release. Now you get a lot of wave what you're doing. That's too much waves, but you're phrasing, which is very important. We have the waves are not always important. The most important one is here. And then you've got, don't overdo it here. It's too much. Very simple here. Just keeping is like your bow, and you're just keeping the bow. You don't stop your bow. Just keeping. That's the most difficult things when we are flutists, is how to use our air column as like a bow. You know, when you start the flute, when we all start the flute, after one lesson, you're happy to go home and say to your parents, "Hey, look, I can play. Fingers." But, okay, it's good, but the sound, not very good. The strings, they spend months only with the right hand, not the left hand, just the right. And feel the bow, feel the speed, feel the... We're flutists are a bit more about showing how they can play with the fingers.
Yeah.
But the most difficult things is what you're doing now. It's the slow part, as we have to know how to use our air column, which is the bow for the you understand the comparison with the bow and the air columns? You do, huh?
Yes.
Our bow, string bow,
Yeah.
it's inside, and we have to use that. So that's why you really, you know what? I want you to try something. If we don't have much time, but if it goes well, that's perfect. Okay. Now, I want you to play unfocused sound. No, I mean, just the air we can hear in the flute. And that's what you're doing exactly with the music. So like, for example, I will do it for you, same place. And I will do it and tell me if you can hear it, okay?
Yeah.
You hear it?
Yeah.
So you hear one wave and then no more wave. Try that. Just on focus sound. Did you hear?
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear it, but it was not perfect, but I hear it. But you know, did you hear what you've done at the end?
Yeah, it was very just.
Yes. Try it again. And the goal here is having one stress on the second E, and the rest, no accident. No accident at all. Try that. Could pay attention, a little bit more attention at the end, because I can hear accent at the end. You're doing instead of your finger move, but your air column doesn't move. Try just that without accent. Again. Hear an accent on the E. Just try to do one diminuendo. Now try that. Just the G. Just that. Yeah. Just one low note that has a diminuendo. Perfect. Now move your finger, but don't move your air column. Can you do it? Because it's very hard to listen to you. Sorry. That's the problem with the online.
I'll get closer if you want.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, it seems about okay, so that's fine. That's, you know, when we teach online, people like you, we're looking for the polish. You say you know already how to play, but we're looking for the perfect things, the finish, and often with those kind of media, we lose a little bit of that. So that, I'm sorry about asking you to repeat, but
It's okay. It's okay.
okay. Now, same thing. You just do a J. And then, so don't miss the two things, the N and air column. So just one G, very good. And now try that with the E, move your finger, but don't move your air column. I think it's good. As I said, we're losing yourself, but it seems that we're not bumpy now. Okay, very good, very good. Again. Ah, yes. Very good. Now focus. But don't change anything. Just focus with your lips, but don't change your air column. Yeah. For example, you do. That's the difficulty. So, I mean, I don't want you to, I mean, we'll keep going, but that's the things, it's very important. I mean, you're still young, we're all young here, everybody's young here. But what is important is we all have to improve. Even in my age, I always have to improve, and I'm learning non-stop. Like, for example, teaching to you today, I'm learning as well for me, myself. So, but what you really have to pay attention is how you're using your air. That's important because you play with beautiful sound, beautiful color. I like it very much. But your phrases are a little bit like going up and down, and we don't know why. It's not because the music asks, it's just because it's your right hand with the bow, you're a little bit like not very comfortable. Okay, do you have any question about what I say now? Any question about that?
I understand it perfectly.
Thank you so much. Okay, so of course we don't have much time to do all the piece, but is there any other place in the piece that you would like to to play for us?
I think at H. It's my favorite part of the piece for the little.
I'm sure it is because it's fun, it's dance, and you look like a girl who likes but that's good. Okay, now we are, you know, Celtic music. You know what I'm talking about? What is Celtic music?
So isn't it mostly like Irish music? It's like a jig. It's very lively.
Yes, Celtic it's from in France, from Brittany, not great, Brittany in France, and it goes Wales. Sorry, maybe I hope English will kill me if I say something wrong, but from Cardiff and then yes, and Wales, and then goes to yes, of course, to Scotland. Yeah, this is Celtic music. So now we are in that part. Don't ask me why Griffes I mean, I like it as well, but why he was fascinated about Celtic music. Okay.
Thank goodness he was.
Yes. Wow, very good, very good. And honestly, I'm being very, very lucky today because it's not often that you have a very good student like you. I like it because I'm positive today. I don't know why, but anyway. You like music and you show us like you like music, and that's so important. How many times we hear flutists or musicians and it seems that they have to do it, they have to prove themselves to do it, but they don't like music at the end, you know? And for you, yes, I like your enthusiasm. It's very good. Okay, so now back. Yes, as I said things, it is a dance here. You know the pipe horn, or yeah. You know how it works? No, I mean you blow, but you just blow to fill up the bag, but it's very rare you have articulation on the pipe. It's very slurred, very, very slurred. And of course you do dynamic and everything. I never played it, but I mean, I saw it. I said in London, it's not too far. But so that's why here he probably put that. It's so slurred here. Everything is slurred from long, long, long phrase, like a pipe as well, you know. But try to keep that line as well. It's very good what you're doing, but as well, you put a little bit too much like rhythm in it, which is good. You have to put, but too much like whoa, whoa, rum. Just try it again, and you know you're going from the E sharp. Wow, this is like poker fifth, but anyway. Okay, so you go from the E sharp to the A sharp and back to the E sharp. So that's like just a little segment going there. Don't try to do try to do the pipe. It's more like a line.
So sorry. Do you want me to start at H?
Oh, can you repeat that?
Do you want me to start at H or do you
Yes.
want me to do
Again. Yes. You're pushing a lot suddenly. You do it's suddenly and then it makes like another way, whoa, too much big wave, especially when it's piano. So make sure that if you want to be more expressive in the A sharp, don't try to wait too long to get there. So it's probably more on the second bar that you have to do it. You know, suddenly. Just that. There, and no accent on the A. No. Can't hear anything. Okay, very good. Okay. That piece is so difficult to read. Is it? Do you have that problem as well to read that music?
When I first started reading it, I was like, oh, okay.
It is. Okay, again. Yeah, you got twice, and then another one, 3 times. Wow, 3 times. Composer likes number 3. You will see in the Hindemith as well. All the composers like 3 times. Try to do something like 3 times, not the same way. I think here what the composer wants, because he is going up, he probably wants the G again, to be more developed here. Okay, watch out. Okay, good. Even there's something I forgot to tell you about it at the beginning of the page. But even if you don't have the piano with you or the orchestra, which is not often we have an orchestra with us, but even if you don't have the piano, make sure that you're still on the long note. You're still beating, because sometimes you're just like, okay, it's not important. It's a long note. Because that's very important to pay attention to that. In the first movement, for example, accelerando, you start right away fast, which is not, you know, that. So it's accelerando, and then you start suddenly fast, and nobody will be able to follow you. So it's accelerando, it's going through faster. And there were a few things like that in the first page. In here, sometimes you cut the notes, you cut the length of the notes. Make sure if you're alone, and that I say that for everybody, when you play, and we'll see now with the next piece, when you play a piece for flute alone, make sure that you have a pulsation, loads of vibrato, yes, but loads of rubato, but make sure you have a rubato that is absolutely logical or organic, but make sure of that, because that's a big problem for flute alone, which is not the case here, but that people goes up and down and we don't know exactly, we don't have any pulsation. So that's something I forgot to tell you about in the beginning. Gosh, it's too fast. We have only 2 minutes left. I'm so sorry. It's awful. We have to meet again. We have to meet. Because it's very short time. I have to conclude my super fast lesson. For sure, you know how to play, and don't never forget that when you play, it's a pleasure to play, and when you do it, it's always a pleasure. It's important, even if we've been repeating the same phrase. It's always a pleasure. The music is important, so that you have it. So don't put that in a corner. Still keep that with you. Now, you really have to do. For me, in my sense, because it's just like I hear you a few minutes today, but and you have for online, you have a beautiful son. Maybe it's different when we in real, but I don't think so. You have dynamics. This is for sure. For me, is more about your legato and how to get to somewhere. And that's the things that I will suggest to you. Really, it's a very, I do with my students, a very good to work with unfocused sound, because that's exactly what we hear. Because the purity of your sound, beautiful. We have to work about that, and about the quality. That's super important. But you can have a beautiful tone color, but if you don't do what you do with your air cannon, that's impossible. Because the music is what you're doing with your air cannon. If you only have a beautiful sound and you don't use the motion of the air cannon, this is not music. I don't know if that makes sense for you. Do you have any? Do we have how much we have left now? I hate doing it. I'm Swiss of Canadian, and I don't like having a watch. But anyway, so how much we have now left?
It's about time to switch.
Okay, so just before, Sarah, could you tell me, ask me any question that we have done today, not something about how can I improve my vibrato, no, but something we have done today. Do any question? I can't hear you at all.
Sorry. When we're talking about phrasing, is there any specific like idea that you have in your mind when you think of like the beginning of this piece, like a scene or something?
Yeah, I mean, everything is written there. That's what I learned the most with my teacher I had, Aurèle Nicolet. He says, don't try to interpret, just read what is written is enough. That means that you have to go with the piano score, now you've got the piano score. You have to go with it, you look the harmony, or if not, you listen to the harmony when you do, you listen to any recording. And that is your guide. That's your guide. You know the harmony when you have a stress, and that is very easy. If not, if you don't have, like the next piece is going to be for flute alone, there's always an harmony, even if it's for flute alone. And you know that appoggiatura is always a stress, and after an appoggiatura is always a release, so you have to release. That's the principle of music. Music is important notes, just before, I said, sorry, I forgot the name in English. Levé, anacrosa, upbeat. Okay, music is upbeat, beat, upbeat, beat, and it's how to do that. It's like the line is the most important things. The most difficult things at the end is upbeat. That's the most difficult things to do. The upbeat, how to get to a note which is expressivo. So for me, my suggestion is like do what as I said. You know, do you understand? Because if you record yourself, try to do again the phrase just with the unfocused sound, record yourself, and you will see, oh my God, is that what I'm doing? It's not what I want to do, but it's what I am doing. And that's your best teacher. Is here? I'm not the first one who says that, huh? But the best teacher. And then you record yourself, but I would suggest you do it on focused sound, and you will say, oh, is it incredible? I didn't know I was doing that. We are too focused about the purity of our sound and not enough about what we behind with the bow, as I said. Yeah. Did I answer to your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was such a pleasure to meet you briefly, and hopefully we will again.
Hopefully, yes. Thank you so much.
Bravo.
Good job, Sarah. Thank you so much for playing today. So next we will have Greg Bardwell, who's actually a Miyazawa emerging artist. Greg, if you'd like to introduce yourself and what you'll be playing, and we can get started.
All right, so my name is Greg Bardwell, and as Christina said, I'm a Miyazawa emerging artist. I will be a grad student, first-year grad student and TA at University of Iowa, where I study with Nicole Esposito. And today I will be playing Hindemith Stücke by Hindemith. So should I play like movement by movement, or?
I have the problem is the piece is not that long, but I don't know if we'll have time to do everything.
Right.
And so is there, first of all, do you want like just like some, we can do like, but that's, well, it's not probably the best things, but we can do just a bit of tips of every movement, or you prefer to focus a few movements?
Maybe we should do like a little piece of each movement.
Okay, that is not easy, but I will do that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's your class. Okay. So before starting, tell us about that music.
Well, what?
What you're going to play?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so Acht translates into 8 pieces. And so this was actually written very early in Paul Hindemith's like compositional kind of legacy. It was written in 1927. And he had like so he was born outside of Frankfurt, and he studied in Frankfurt. He studied violin, but he was also, of course, a composer and a violist. And so this piece, since it was early in his compositional time, I kind of see it as, because there are 8 small little pieces. And so I see it as like a collage of kind of his like musical idea. So you have a mix of very very rhythmic, mixed with more lyrical and kind of showing his lyrical side.
Thank you so much. That's good. I'm sorry, I just want to speak about a little bit before, because I don't know if everybody knows that piece here, so it's important to, because it has been a little introduced. Of course, everybody knows the flute sonata, and there's as well a canon for 2 flutes, but the flute sonata it's quite famous. Beautiful piece. For you, Greg, which one sounds more modern, the Stücke or the sonata?
Which sounds more modern? To me, honestly, the Stücke.
Yes, of course. It's much more modern. You've got free tempo, I mean not tempo, but free measurement, and so but the sonata has been written in 36,
yes.
So it's 9 years after. It's funny how it become more and more and more neoclassic. It was more.
Exactly, yeah.
And then he become more and more classic at the end, yes. So that's important. The very important things that I have to tell before you start is, for people that doesn't know the piece as well, is Hindemith, of course, he was in Berlin, studied in Berlin as well, and he lived in Berlin before going to States and everywhere else in Switzerland as well. But he was in 27, he was still in Berlin, if I'm not wrong. And of course, in that time, it's after the First War, before the Second one, and Berlin cabaret are very famous, and he was very, very, as well. We think always that Hindemith is very, very intellectual and not funny guy, but he loves sarcasm, he loves it. And his music, especially the Acht Stücke, you have a lot here of Kurt Weill music influence, because Kurt Weill is a little bit older as well, so you have a lot of Kurt Weill music. I don't know if you know Kurt Weill, and Bertolt Brecht, which is the writer, and Hindemith wrote work with Bertolt Brecht as well. But those were the intellectual people in Berlin. But if you never listen the music from Kurt Weill, you have to listen to that, because then you will understand that music. You really have to. There is like Teresa Stratas have done I put the name here because I'll tell you, where is that? Yes, On No Kurt Weill by Teresa Stratas. It sings. And there's a sing, written in 26 for 2 piccolo, 1 bassoon, and a soprano by Hindemith. 2 piccolo, bassoon, and soprano. It's a short piece. And you have to listen to that to understand that music. So music has to be fun. It's not only it's a lot of sarcasm. How do you say that? Sarcasm?
Sarcasm.
Thank you. Okay, sorry, blah, 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 Michel. We'll try to mute his micro. Play the first, because the first is not too long, so I'll listen to you. Okay, good introduction. Thank you, Greg. Okay, now here in that movement, you already have a lot about Hindemith music. You have Hindemith loves triplets and how you say pointed eighth in States, like pam pa pam. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Dotted eighth, yes.
Yeah, dotted eighth. It loves that, and then you already that. So make sure that you've got the more like sensual, more triplets, and more the rhythm yam papam. So that's the things Hindemith loves to play with that. Always, always, always. He's very famous as well for contrapoint. So we don't have a contrapoint here because it's like fugue, because it's only one instrument, but you can feel as well in his music. It's a lot with the sonata for flute and piano. Loads of counterpoint. You said in English as well.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So of course, At the beginning, your first phrase, what is for you the climax at the beginning, the first phrase, not the big climax, just at the beginning?
Just at the beginning. I would say it's in the middle around the D flat.
Okay, it's a D flat. Very good. When you play the D natural you go the D flat because it goes one semitone. So make sure you go there. So it's very important. And then you have more. You know the sonata like the it's always all things you have here. Very sensual. So that's your focus is not the D, but the D flat. Okay, go again. Oh, big difference in dynamic here. Mezzo forte piano, subito. Don't worry, broke that. It's very that you know the Bauhaus movement. Bauhaus. It's architecture movement from Berlin as well, from exactly 1919, I think, to 30, something like that. It's from Weimar, but it's the Bauhaus. It's Bauhaus, Bauhaus. And this is a movement, architecture movement. And the painter are Paul Klee, Kandinsky, that's the same. And Hindemith is part of that as well. So, as I said, it's very, very, very clear. Mezzo forte, piano subito. So you got here. It's very, very important. It's already important that you make the the difference here. Dia papam, triplet. Make sure that you have two sarcasms here. You have two person here. You have to listen Kurtweil. You will understand Kurtweil. You will understand everything. It's and of course the words of Bertolt Brecht. It's always dark, but in a funny way. You know, it's very good. So here already we have that. Okay, again. Okay. Keep going. Very good. Same phrase, but it's developing. And the top is on E, natural E. So the same thing. That's very good. I like it, but make sure that it's the chromatis is more important here. So make sure that you start forte really where it's written. Yeah. Chromatic always. Yes. Okay, again, second time. La. Now you've got piano to pianissimo. So don't go. It's difficult, but I won't go back to piano after, like here. I don't think I will do again here, but that's my taste. I can't tell you, I'm not in the mid, but I would probably keep it piano less and then pianissimo. Very good. I like it. Here, very, very rhythm. I hear more. The triplet are more like
okay.
From here. Don't come back. Don't come back. The first is like an echo. Okay, you have the first one. Okay, we keep going. Good. That's a funny one. You have to be much more funnier
Okay.
as well. It's good. You've done it very well. But it's, for example, the second part. You're way to engage right away, and that's the first part. You've got the first part that. Second time. Third time. Sorry, maybe I missed one C sharp, I don't know. But but make sure that you build it in 3. So don't give us everything in the first it's just a little up here and don't right away. Good. Funny. Yeah. Oh. Again from the beginning. Doing crescendo on the C sharp, huh? Yeah. It's to keep on the C. So you can do as well practice that with a slurred. And then try to do slower, but with the tongue, because I'm losing you here in the tension here. I'm losing you a lot. But very difficult, especially then you get the jump to the C, bottom C. But can we do slightly, no, slowly? Not losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you can go a little bit less at the beginning of the C sharp to give the illusion that you're going down. It's just slightly, not too big, not like obviously, because it's not written, but that will help to rebuild your big phrase.
Okay.
From the here. Very good. Here, Craig, in that case, in the second Stücke, I won't change something that is not written here, especially here. So I won't start slower the last line, because it's not written, and it says at the end ruhig, which is quiet, more quiet, yes. Yeah, more calm. But that's why I will keep it in tempo. Where it says tempo, I will keep it in tempo. In that case here, because it's not recitativo, it's not frei. So in that case, I will do that. Just that's my opinion as to Hindemith here. And it makes sense because the rhythm is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 6, So then you change a little bit that that rhythm.
Okay.
In that case. I mean, the time flies. I will have many things to say about that, but keep going. Then you want to do the third one? Sure. Sorry. Sehr langsam frei im Zeitmaß. You know what it means?
Oh, sorry. It's very slow and it's free in the meter.
Okay, in tempo, yeah. Sorry. It's opposite. You tell us it's free in the tempo and you don't do it. Now it's the opposite way. Do it. Yeah, it's like an improvisation here. You don't. I think here for me in 3. Yeah. Do you understand the phrase here? You got.
Yeah.
But then you can. Now you're free here in the time. You
Okay.
Sorry about that. I interrupt you right away, but it's important. Okay, from the beginning again. No, you're too fast. Yes. Design that. Wagidagu. Just for me, one slower. Just to feel it, just slow. Okay. Slightly accelerando, slightly. Okay, now slower. And I won't do piano here. I will keep it quite loud on the re. Mi, re, yadada. Dirty. It's very dirty. Thank you, Greg. It's nice. You have to pay more attention of the text. I'm not talking about wrong notes, not like that. But at the end, for example, on the re, on the D, sorry, even you're already fortissimo here. No. Fortissimo is the beginning of that. Ta-da-dee. That's it. So make sure that you really pay attention to the dynamic. It's written here, because, for example, as well, when you do a we can't hear what you're doing. It's just like we don't know what is going on here. So you have to design everything here, much more. And you know what it means, ruhig bewegt.
Quietly move.
Yeah, well, that's not what you were doing. You were too active. So it's very sarcastic. You have to be very black and white here. Very. Okay, so the beginning is much better. And now here, okay, quietly moving. By a little bit more. Even more. Improvisation. Sorry for the notes. And cool. And etc. Sorry for the wrong notes. So make sure that your sections are more definite.
Yeah, defined.
Okay, we have about 10 minutes, and there are still others. I really want to talk about a few others. Can we keep going?
Yeah, if we don't get to all of them, that's okay.
Which one you really don't want to miss?
Was actually like the next couple that I was just wanting, just like 4, 5, and 6 actually.
Yeah, very good, very good. Okay, so gemächlich, sorry for my German. You know what it doesn't mean?
Easily.
Sorry?
Easily.
Yeah, easily, leisure. I think it's more
Easily,
leisure, leisurely, yes. So for me here, knowing that, like Bertolt Brecht and everything, for me it's like, what I see here is like two skeletons walking. And it's very sarcastic, like two skeletons walking, and then maybe one is breaking his leg, I don't know, but I mean, it has to be more like that. That's very good what you're doing. But, so it's like, sometimes like, okay, when you go back to, okay, okay, life is going, but very beautiful. Okay, of course, you've got, it's always on the same thing. Then, you get that. More tenderness in the funny things, the funny situation. More tender.
Okay.
Try that again. Very good. Can you the F fa fa fa? Don't think the last one is it's the end of it. I'm talking about the first line, the end of the first line. And then here is the beginning. And this is no crescendo. Okay. That's very. No, sorry. I'll try to play the sonata, but sorry. Change the mood right away on the fa, which is the ti-ram-pum. No crescendo.
Okay, yes.
Sorry, I have to interrupt you because we don't have much time. So, yeah, do you have any question about that movement?
No, not really. I'm so basically just like more tender sarcasm, I guess.
Yes, exactly. And change the mood. Change the mood. When it's yum pa pum pi pum very fast move, and it's always the same after. and very, very soft, and then back, and then running at the end. Okay, and I like to, I have to tell you, everybody, I'm super glad that Greg brought that piece for the masterclass. I completely forget about that piece. I work it with with two teachers I had in Paris, with Raymond Guillot and with Aurèle Nicolet. I completely forget about those pieces. I don't play it, and then because of Greg, I going to play that in the next concert for sure, sure, sure. I love so much. I forget about how beautiful are those little jewels. Thank you very much for bringing that. Okay, I like to because it's 8 pieces. Sometimes we have to do, when they're short like that, we have to put a little bit, some of them together, not always have the same break between each movement. For that example, that one I like to keep going like I like to keep the next one right away. And that's the end of the, yeah, not this, it's not the end, sorry, not that, but it's very, the sonata has a lot of, that Hindemith took from its Acht Stücke as well. Here.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, the number 5? Yeah, that one is it's easier in this to understand it. It's much easier. It's more military march, even if it's in the 6/8, but it's more like his third movement of the sonata. That
Yes.
we're more used to that. The only things you have to pay more attention is the dynamic, because you do a lot of dynamic that's not written. The first one is from here. Sorry. There's a big crescendo and you come back when you do fa, F. So don't come back. And then big crescendo. And then the pianissimo goes to maybe a piano, not more. Sorry. And then you do a big forte here. And then, then here you've got the fortissimo. Can you do it again and try to be a little bit more attentive to the dynamic?
Yes.
Same thing. You're starting forte here. This is forte, so you should finish forte here. And it's low register, so you have to go here. We're not anymore in the Griffes poem here. It's more German things. We don't have much left, so the next one, it's so beautiful. Next one is a pure codified music song. But Hindemith wrote a lot of songs as well. But to say that's another one that is super imagine beautiful music, but imagine very not dirty, sorry, but dark words here, very dark. You know, there's a sound from Codified says it says in French, in English it says at the bottom of the river La Seine in Paris, you can't see what you find there. If you can see what is in the bottom of the river, they are dead body. They are all those things, you know, the gangster and everything. So that can be as well very similar to that. Do we have time? Yes, I guess so. A little bit to play that lead, which is sung and leicht bewegt. too fast. It's more like fun. Sorry, I just read. We're about to wrap it up in a couple of minutes. Wah! Sorry. Yeah, try it again. The beginning. Thank you, Greg. Greg, thank you. Very good. It's still too fast. It's still too fast. I mean, honestly, because we have unfortunately to finish that. I'm so sorry. We didn't have time to speak about the Stativo and the last movement in even more than that. My first conseil. Sorry. Where I can help you here. The first thing, listen the music on that in that period of time. Even Schoenberg, do you know the year of his Pierrot Lunaire? You know Pierrot Lunaire from Schoenberg?
Yeah, I don't know the year, but
it's 1919. It's much before that.
Right.
So, and the Sprechgesang, you know, the things and that atmosphere. So in the recitative, the next one is like very, like Pierrot Lunaire things, atmosphere. So listen more of that, the music in that, not the dodecaphonist, because it's an atonal. It's not dodecaphonist, it's atonal. Like Pierrot Lunaire in that time is not dodecaphonic, is atonal. But just, and especially Kurt Weill, W-E-I-L-L. And you will understand completely. And if you have the chance to have the translation of the words from Bertolt Brecht, you will understand what it is. But that's the first things I will tell you, suggest you, yeah, that's the word, suggest you to do. Then after that, like, make sure that you have a very, very precise idea about every Stück, every piece, every one. And the one who are rhythm, the one who are not rhythm, you have to be more rhythm or less if it's not, you know, the things. Is there anything that's so difficult to do a masterclass in 30 minutes? Gosh, I'm not used to do that. I'm so sorry. I hope for the people who are listening to us, I mean, they understand what I'm saying. I'm speak fast and I'm like, whoa! But for you, Greg, is there anything that you're not sure about what I said to you today, or something that we have maybe 2 minutes and 1 minute, 30 seconds?
Well, I mean, no, you explained everything really well. It's like bring out the character or like the image in each piece, because they're each different and showing like a different side of his compositional style. And so I guess like for the last two that we didn't, because they're both like, they're not really, so the rest of the it's not, there's no
you have
meter, there's no,
yeah, you have written part in the recitativo,
yeah,
in order which is not written as well, but you're more free because it says you have more langsam and then sehr schnell, and so sehr schnell, yeah, langsam, but it's very dark humor, and that's
yes,
the thing that you have to understand here. But it's still humor.
Humor, yes.
Humor, yes. And the last one is the same thing as well. It's very similar to the one before. You've got a little that freeness, and then suddenly the presto, which is much more rhythm, rhythmic. Yes. And yeah, but each piece, because they are like studies, so each piece has its own characters, and they are similar, but they are all of them. So yes, I'm sorry that we have to stop now, but I hope Greg and myself help you to play more that music. It's so important. We have to play that music. We have to defend that music. And I hope you people who are listening to us now or later, that maybe give you the curiosity to work those pieces. So Greg, is there anything that you want to add?
I mean, I think you said, like, this was a piece I didn't know very well. I didn't know before this, but I knew I had listened to it, but I had never played it. I didn't know it like very well, but like I was very familiar with, of course, like his orchestral pieces and this sonata, but I had never really studied this, and it's actually very interesting, because it is like a collage, and it's like it shows the different aspects of how he wrote and what he wanted to portray.
Thank you. So, Christy, is it okay or?
Yep. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it'll be just about time to wrap up here. But thank you, Greg, also along with Sarah, for playing so beautifully and joining us today. And a huge thank you to Michel for joining us, and I mean, always experiencing your teaching and just your enthusiasm behind it is always a pleasure. We hope to be able to see more of it in person sometime soon, hopefully.
I was very spoiled today. I had 2 fantastic students, which is not always the case, but today I was very spoiled. So it's easy for me to teach when I've got inspiration from the student.